Welcome to the first
Ever.
episode of the Fourth Man Podcast.
Fourth Man Podcast.
Been some time.
It has.
This is so awkward.
It's been a long time coming, and it's weird talking to a camera, but
It is. But here we are.
we're going to do it.
We're doing it. So tell the people who you are. You know,
Wow, this is awkward.
it is. Ain't it?
This is way more intense than I thought it was going to be. I'm Michael Fitzpatrick. Is the mic close enough to my face?
Yeah. You,
I'm 21 years young. Work at UPS, and that's about it. Not in school. Stopped at that. I used to play basketball a little bit. Been in church most of my life. Started Harvest, member Harvest. Got 5 brothers, mom, dad, all live at home. So that's interesting. Got a 2-year-old adopted brother. For now, you go ahead. Go ahead and
Well,
rock out.
I'm Hayden Parkinson.
What,
Nobody knows me as that.
Tell him your real name. Yeah.
You know, everybody knows me as Shug. 99% of the people in my life don't know I have a real first name, or they think it is Shug. But I am 26 years old. You're young, I'm old. Been in church for half my life, though less than half. Around 17, 18 I started. Surrendered to the ministry in 2015, 2016, summer of that. Served, got ordained, licensed in 2020, year of COVID, you know.
COVID year.
That was a good year of shutting down. But got a brother, got a sister, mom and dad, 3 nephews. And yeah, we just doing life.
I guess we should tell people where we're from.
Probably.
Probably so.
That might help.
That might help. So we're from Gulfport, Mississippi.
We on the coast, baby.
All the way at the bottom, closest to the sun, it feels like.
We on the landmass
now.
when it was Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hurricane did
landmass.
some damage.
It did. But born and raised here, both of
Yep,
us.
Both of us. Well, I wasn't born here. I was born in Georgia, but raised here.
Well, that's something new.
So, yeah. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Wow.
See?
Look at that. Look at
Podcast
this.
bringing us together,
I'm about to say,
man.
this relationship's going to grow.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Georgia. That's crazy.
Columbus, Georgia.
Here I am thinking you're a
Yep.
Mississippi boy, but
I mean, I am at heart, but technically I'm born in Georgia.
but not with birth certificate.
Not with birth certificate, no.
Man, oh man, that's something new. You might have to rethink this pod.
Might have to rethink it.
No, but this is the Fourth Man Podcast.
Yep.
We kind of just came up with the name
Like 5 minutes ago.
5
So,
minutes ago.
Well, we're going to see if this goes.
If it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't,
We'll change it.
we'll change the name.
Figure it out.
It ain't nothing but a title, you know?
Yeah.
But kind of the theme or where the fourth man comes from is from the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yep.
You know, they were worshiping their God, not the God where they were,
Well,
or
it was-
the king,
yeah.
the king where they were. And he said, "Hey, you got to bow down, or we throwing you in the fire." They're like, "Well, throw us."
Do it.
And the crazy thing about the story in general, or in overview, is that they went in the fire, the guards opened up the lid of the fire, and the guards disintegrated. But yet when the 4 man or the 3 men came out, they didn't have a smell of smoke on them. They didn't have any soot on them. And the people around them said there was 4 men in there. So we believe that we always have the fourth man with us, that Christ is always with us.
Yep.
He's always navigating our life. You know, he's the footsteps with us and shining the light.
Yep.
What's your goal for this podcast to be?
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like if it can help somebody, I know there's been a few podcasts like the shout out the just different podcast, and then the porch, like views from the porch and all that. They've influenced my life a whole lot. Even like I can just throw it on when I'm at work or in the gym or whatever. So I want that to be like this can be an outlet for somebody who's like, oh, I'll just throw on a podcast real quick. But yeah, that's probably the main thing for me, and I'm gonna have to be a little bit more wordy because I'm very like short and sweet to the point. Like I don't really want to beat around the bush. So I'm very like, this is good, this is bad, and that's it. So
it's going to push you out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In that fact,
because this morning, like I did the intro, and I was like thinking about it, like how can I talked about Philippians 4, 6, and 7. Basically, just don't be anxious, and like the peace of God like surpasses all understanding, and that alone like was so like, all right, how do I explain this to everybody in the church, non-believer, believers, and how can I tie this in? And it's like, all right, I'm very like, well, if you don't have God, you don't have what's it called. You're not gonna have that peace. You're not gonna have that peace without understanding and stuff. So it was hard for me to like try and hit everybody with that one passage.
The cool thing about the gospel and the whole entire Bible is that it's intergenerational. So it's not just for our parents or their parents or, kids younger than us. It speaks to everybody at any different age, and one thing I know for me is, I don't like speaking either, but it pushes us past that line of where comfort ends. And it's like, hey, I'm just going to rely on the Lord. So a good thing about this podcast with us just getting out of our comfort zone with 2 cameras, with the mic and all that, it's going to force us to be able to hold a deeper conversation and not just surface level.
Yeah.
So it's really, I know for me, for this podcast, it's just to get Christ out there. That's both of our number one goals, just to proclaim Christ in our generation. Yeah. But it's also, like you were saying, hey, if this can help somebody in some way, man, all the better. But we know it's not us that are doing it, but it is Christ through his message and his word. Yeah. We're both big in the gym.
I love the gym.
Michael looks like it. I'm
No.
I'm a little pudgy still.
No.
But, we're kind of doing this I don't want to use the word lifestyle podcast because I think everybody tries to be an influencer of some sorts. But, I mean.
That's not the goal.
Yeah, that's not the goal at all.
Not the goal is to be an influencer, like get famous, none of that. Like we just want to proclaim the gospel, basically. Yeah. But I should have started with that, too. I didn't.
It's all good.
Didn't mention Christ at all,
First podcast, so we're good, man.
So
you got the grace.
We'll just edit it out,
Yeah, I got that.
I don't know how to edit, but
I got
we'll
that.
See.
But yeah, so it's for us, man, it really it really stretches us because, I mean, in general, you'll learn that I can't speak sometimes, but in general, we're both pretty much soft-spoken, don't talk a lot.
Not a lot of public speaking, almost failed that.
Yeah, I did fail
that, yeah.
Online, so, but it's really going to stretch us on, hey, it's okay to talk a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay to
get out of that comfort zone. And
so we're just here to have fun, to invite you into our daily conversations.
It feels so weird not talking to anyone, but possibly talking to hundreds or thousands of people like that.
We don't know.
That we don't, or 2 people.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It could just be me and you listening to this thing.
Exactly.
But that's the cool thing about it is we're stepping out on that faith of if somebody listens, great. If nobody listens, we're still learning, So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, the Lord's will be done too, like regardless of if this podcast doesn't work out or has 10 viewers or has 10,000 views or 10 million or whatever it is. So who knows? Who knows what God has in plan for this podcast?
It's gonna be exciting.
It is.
That went by fast.
It did. Now it's not as awkward.
It's not as bad.
It's not as bad.
So we'll be better for next episode.
Yeah. Breaking that ice.
Yeah. So sorry if this was awkward for you. It was more awkward for us than it was for you, probably.
Yeah. And this is just an intro too. Like that was just kind of where we're at.
We might not post this.
We probably, No, I don't know. I'm not gonna say probably not, but who knows?
We might not. We might. So if you see this,
It's out there.
it's out there.
It's out there.
It's out there for the world to see.
The crazy thing is, like, imagine somebody's listening to this like years in advance, like 2026. It's like somebody's listening to this, like that'd be crazy. Like, I don't think that's wild.
Yeah.
The internet, it's crazy. The internet's wild. All right, well, I guess that's it. I don't know what's like. I don't know how to outro or anything like that.
Outro. Let's see.
Outro.
So that's it from us.
Yep.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Catch us back on Monday to the Fourth Man Podcast.
Fourth Man Podcast.
Fourth Man Podcast. Deuces.
Deuces.
Deuces.